A very good morning, students. As we have started with the 9th standard science, so previous class we discussed with the chemistry, that is matter around us pure? So today let us begin with a new chapter. So before we start with a new chapter, let us discuss the introduction of that chapter. So in the nature we find many organisms. Those organisms we are dividing as unicellular and multicellular. How we are dividing? Unicellular and multicellular. How we are going to decide? Based on the number of cells. As you know, uni means the organisms which are having a single cell, right? So if they are having single cell, with that cell only they have to do their all life activities. The life activities like digestion, respiration, movement, excretion, whatever the processes comes, they have to perform with that single cell. Okay. Coming to the multicellular organisms. As the name says, multi. Multi means many. So there are organisms which are having many cells. If we are having many cells, then what happens? We are using a group of cells for our digestion, a group of cells for respiration, a group of cells for excretion. Like that, for different activities, we find different types of cells in case of multicellular organisms. So already you are familiar with the word cell, because in the first chapter we have discussed. What is cell? Cell is the basic structural and functional unit of a living organisms that we have discussed. So now we are talking group of cells, group of cells. Is there any word for that group of cells? Yes, the group of cells are called as tissues. The group of cells are called as the tissues. So what is our new lesson, students? We are going to discuss about the tissues. What is the meaning of tissue? How many types of tissues we find? How is their structure? What is the function? That all we are going to discuss in detail in this chapter, that is the tissues. Right, students? Yes. First, let us understand what is the definition of a tissue. What is the definition of tissue, students? We can call tissue as group of cells. Tissues are nothing but the group of cells with common origin, and with similar function, because group of cells we are going to call it as tissue. So they have originated from the same and they are performing one particular type of the function. So many cells are taking part in the digestion called tissue, digestive tissue. So many types of cells, group of cells performing in the respiration called respiratory tissue. Right? So like that, what is the definition of tissue? Tissue nothing but the group of cells with common origin and with similar function. It is called as the tissue. Right? Group of tissues. What you are going to call, students? Group of tissues. Yes, you are right. Group of tissues is called organ. Right? So many organs together forms our organ system. They will form organ system. Take the example of the digestive system. Digestive system is one organ system. So that digestive system is having so many different types of organs like stomach, pancreas, so many types of organs it is having. Organs are made up of group of tissues. Tissues are made up of group of cells. So like this in our body, basically it is made up of cells. Group of cells are called as the tissues. Group of tissues are called organs. Group of organs are called as organ system. Right? Hope you are understanding, students. Okay. Okay, unicellular, multicellular we spoke. What about plants and animals? Do you find the tissues only in animals? You don't find in the plants? Plants we are calling as the living organisms. So both in the plants and animals we find the tissues. But what is the difference? The tissues present in the plants are different. The tissues of the animals are different. So we are calling them as plant tissues and the animal tissues. Okay? Students, just now we discussed that the plants are also having different types of tissues and even the animals. The tissues of the plant body are called as plant tissues. So how many types are there in the plant tissues? Plant tissues mainly are of two types. The first type is meristematic tissue and the second type is permanent tissue. What is meristematic tissue? Meristematic tissue, in detail again we are going to discuss, students. These are nothing but the cells which are capable of cell division. Again they will divide and they will form the new cells. So they are the meristematic tissue. How many types are there in this? In this there are of three types. Apical meristem, lateral meristem and intercalary meristem. Where you find what is their function, we will discuss. The second type is permanent tissue. Permanent in the sense, these are the cells which are not capable of cell division. They can't undergo the cell division. They are permanent one. In this, there are of two types. One is simple permanent tissue and the complex permanent tissue. Simple permanent tissue, the name itself says us that these are having the cells which are of only one type of the cells. So we are going to call them as simple permanent tissues. These are of three types called parenchyma, collenchyma and a sclerenchyma. Second type of the permanent tissue, that is complex permanent tissue. Complex. These are complex, means made up of two or more type of the cells. Simple, only one type of cells. Complex, having more than one type of the cells. So we are going to explain as the complex permanent tissue. Again, how many types are there in this? In this there are of two types called as xylem tissue and the phloem tissue. So this much now we are going to start, students, that is about the plant tissues. Let us finish plant tissues first, then we will begin with the animal tissues. Yes, students, let us start with the plant tissues. Plant tissues are of two types, meristematic tissue and a permanent tissue. In that we will begin with the first type, that is meristematic tissue. To understand the meristematic tissue, take one example. You are going to take one seed. Okay? You are going to sow it in the soil. Right? What happens? Because of the soil, sunlight, it may be the availability of water, you find growth of the roots. Right? Then it will get the stem and it will start growing. It will become a small sapling, and as the days goes, it will become a big tree. Right from a seed to tree. How it is possible, or what it is called? It is called as the growth, as you know. How this growth is possible, students? This growth is possible because there is an increase in the size of the plant body. Increase in size of the plant body. right? So what makes the plant to increase in size? That is because of increase in the cell number. That is increase in cell number. Correct? How the cell number has increased? It is increased because of the formation of new cells. Formation of new cells. Okay, so you find the growth of the seed. That is because of increase in the size. You are going to call it as a growth. That increase in the size because of there is increase in the cell number. The cell number is increased because of the formation of the new cells. What is the formation of the new cells is called, students? It is a cell division. See, for example, here you have a cell with a nucleus. So this cell will divide into new cells. Again, these cells, when attain maturity, they will form the new cells. As the process continues, you are going to get the number of cells called as cell division. So this cell division is responsible for the formation of new cells. Because of the formation of the new cells, we find increase in the cell number. As the number of cells increases, there is an increase in the plant body, and at last you are going to call it as the growth. Okay. So this cell division, it happens here. Cell is going to divide as a new cells. So where it happens? It happens in the growing tips of the plant body. So where this growth occurs, we are going to call there the meristematic tissue is responsible. So what is the function of the meristematic tissue, students? It helps for growth of the plant body. So we are going to call meristematic tissue as the growth tissue. It is also called as growth tissue because it helps for growth of the plant body. It is not only called meristematic tissue, it is also called as meristem. You can call it as meristem, or you can call it as meristematic tissue or the growth tissue. What is the meaning of meristem or meristematic? The meaning itself is to divide. The meaning of the meristem is to divide. So what is its function? It helps for the division. It helps for the formation of the new cells. So that is what it is called as meristematic tissue or the growth tissue. Right? Yes, students, let us begin with the types of meristem or meristematic tissue. As we discussed, the meristematic tissue is of three types. The first one is called apical meristem. Apical at the apices means, see, this is the section of the plant what we have taken. If you take the section, this is the stem, okay, we have taken. So at the growing tip, this is the growing tip. So what do you find here? Apical meristem. For example, here roots are there and here you find the stem. So at the tip of the roots as well as at the tip of the stem, where the growth occurs, where the cell division occurs, and which helps to increase the size of the plant body, which helps to increase the height of the plant body. So that meristem is called as the apical meristem. Right? So what is apical? Apical means at the tip of the roots and tip of the stem. Right? Stem apex and root apex we used to call. So in that point, in that region, you find the meristem, which helps to increase the length of the plant body. Which helps to increase the length of the plant body, or you can say height of the plant body, that is called as apical meristem, right? The second one, intercalary meristem. Just now we have discussed with the apical meristem. Now intercalary. What is intercalary? This stem is there, students, which is taking the branches, right? So in the branches again you find the formation of leaf, this, that, everything. So at what point the stem arises? So these are called internodes. So at what point the branches occurs, right? In this regions, here, wherever the branches occurs, no, there what you find? Intercalary meristem, means at the internodes of the plant body. It helps for the formation of branches of the plant body, right? So apical, where you find at the tip of the stem, at the tip of the root, at the tip of the leaf, where it will start. So in that regions you find. Intercalary, where we find it is from where the branches arises. At the internodes of the plant body, we are getting the intercalary meristem. Okay. Coming to the last one, that is lateral meristem. What is the meaning of lateral meristem? See, this is a small plant. This is a sapling, which will turn into a tree, right? When you are going to call it as a tree, when the stem will become huge in size and there is a formation of the bark, that time we are going to call it as a tree, right? So this lateral meristem is responsible to increase the length of the stem, girth of the stem, what we used to say. So it increases these points. Okay, I hope you are understanding. And the girth, to increase the girth of the plant stem, or to increase the size of the stem, we find the lateral meristem. So it makes the stem bark, means woody it will make, right? From sapling, the stem will be very weak, but it has become the tree, nothing but woody stem. So to make it strong and all, on both the sides of the stem, you find the lateral meristem, and which helps to increase the girth or size of the stem. Like this, we find the first type of the plant tissue, that is meristematic tissue. Let me revise once again, students. So the first type of plant tissue is meristematic tissue. Nothing but it is a growth tissue. It occurs at the growth tips of the plant body. It helps for the cell division, right? It helps for the formation of branches, new leaves, flowers, fruits, like that we find. Okay, so this meristematic tissue, based on the position of the cells, it has divided into three types, called as apical meristem, intercalary meristem, and the lateral meristem. Apical meristem, which is present at the stem apex and the root apex, which helps to increase the length of the plant body, right? Roots will start growing towards the soil, the stem will start growing towards the upward, and there is a formation of the leaves at the tip of the leaves. So in all these parts, regions, we are going to get the apical meristem. Intercalary meristem, from where the branches will start arising, in that portion you are going to get the intercalary meristem. Lateral meristem, on both the sides of the stem, which helps to increase the size of the stem, which makes the plant woody. So that is the function of lateral meristem. Okay, so this is the first type called as meristematic tissue. Take down the home assignment, students. The first question, what is tissue? Second one, What is the function of meristematic tissue? Third one, name the types of meristematic tissue and mention their functions. Right? So this is the first type, students. In our next class, we will begin with the second type of the plant tissue, that is permanent tissue. Right? So many types will come in that. So what is the meaning? Where they occur? What is their function? How is the structure? In detail, we will discuss in our next class. Okay, students? Complete your home assignment and complete your notes. Make it update. Stay home. Stay safe. Okay? Thank you. Have a good day.